This is kind of a weird topic, but I'm gonna talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. Kindset, thank you for tuning in, where this is the space where we get to explore how kindness is one of the most pivotal things to creating a winning mindset. So I'm gonna start talking about my breastfeeding journey. Just a little bit of background of why I started to breastfeed in public and I stopped worrying about it. I was at the airport actually pre-COVID, and just my baby was hungry. I was trying to look for one of those airport nursing rooms, and I was like looking up all these details before our trip of each destination, or each stop and airport that we went to, where the nursing room was. And I had like these maps on my phone and I screenshotted them and which terminal they're in and everything. So that was really frustrating when I couldn't get to the nursing place in time. One time actually it was full as well. So my baby was just crying and crying, and my husband has a service dog, so he took the service dog somewhere else. So I had a bunch of stuff and I could have just nursed her there. But there were a lot of things stopping me. One is just embarrassment, shame, maybe judgment. I think judgment was probably the biggest one. And I just, I got so many sympathetic looks from people that were at the airport and grandmas, and they're like, just one was helping me take my stuff with the baby to the nursing room. And so just people are very, very kind and helpful. And I realized after that incident, just how stressed I was and how my baby was crying and I just wanted to feed her, and I was judging myself actually. And I think that's a big thing that we're conditioned to do, is just judge ourselves, because culture, yeah, there are judgmental people out there, but nothing hurts more than the judgment that you give yourself. So what I'm trying to say is, what was more important in that moment was feeding my baby. And if I wanted to feed her, I could have fed her. And if people wanted to judge, they could totally judge. And that's not my responsibility to correct them. And it's not their responsibility to correct me. And if they do, then I have the right to say I'm protected by law, and I'm also just feeding my baby. It's really that simple. And I think an amazing thing that happens when you do breastfeed in public is you're bringing awareness, and you're just on another level supporting women all over, and even giving them permission to breastfeed in public. I'm crying over breastfeeding in public. But it really is, I think it's very empowering, because we're not trying to show off anything, and we wouldn't be having our boobs out had it not been for breastfeeding. So it wouldn't, and it's covered too. It's not like just both boobs are out. It's just one boob. There's a function. The baby is happy. It's convenient. It is just, I feel like it is other people's responsibility to support that and to release their judgments around that. But of course, we can't force that to happen. We can just, through our kindness and through our awareness, not get offended when people do make comments or when people do give us looks. I personally have not noticed any looks, because I started breastfeeding in public after that incident, And I'm part of some breastfeeding Facebook groups. There's some awesome ones on there if you want to look it up. And there's a lot of mommies on there that are asking for advice. How do I breastfeed in public without feeling ashamed? Or what's the best way to do it without a cover? Or like, it's really like a mindset thing for me. I feel like I stopped judging myself on that. So I was very comfortable with that, and I fed on demand. So whenever the baby was hungry or just wanted comfort, even if it was in a conversation, I would just let her breastfeed. And I just think that that's a beautiful thing because it's natural and we don't have to hide that part of ourselves. And I feel like it is bringing awareness and empowerment to women because it's not sexual. It's just a very beautiful thing for me to see. And I know a lot of people agree with me. So yeah, I just hope that you find what works for you. What's most important, again, is just releasing that judgment of yourself, because a lot of cultures, it's totally normal. Here in the US, it's not as normal, but it's becoming more normal. So I feel good to be part of that movement too. And yeah, it's like normalizing breastfeeding. There's nothing wrong with it. And it is a really, really beautiful thing when I see other women doing that in public, which I wish I saw that more, because I do hear that women go into bathrooms and it's not a great place to breastfeed unless you're in a really nice bathroom, and which I do enjoy nice bathrooms, but I still don't want to breastfeed in like my husband and I grade bathrooms, like an A+ bathroom. I'm always asking like, what's the grade on that bathroom? Because I'm not gonna go, or I am gonna go. So, but yeah, I digress. But I just want to encourage you to do what's right for you and your family, and just allow everyone else to just, it's not your responsibility to correct them. And they have their own preconception of how things should be, of how people should be. And they don't have any control over you. And I think that's the thing with culture, is like we're all conditioned to think that things are actually supposed to be a certain way to fit into this perfect little box. But do what works for you and your family. And I think motherhood has really brought that out in me. Is that that's a really loud motorcycle. Is that find what works for you and your family. Don't be ashamed of it. Enhance that. Create the culture for your family within the culture of everybody else, because I do realize that a lot of my conditioning isn't even what I want. It's not even congruent with who I am. And I'm aware of that. So I'm kind of trying to unlearn a lot of things or get in touch with myself. But imagine all the people that aren't aware of that, and they're just acting on what they think they should be acting on. It's not even who they are. And they're just judging people based on what deserves judgment, or they think deserves judgment, or somebody has judged them on. So they held that in their heart and they're hurt by it. So they might be judging someone else. And usually when somebody is judging someone, it is triggering that actual thing in themselves that they see. So it has very little to nothing to do with you. I'm just gonna say nothing to do with you breastfeeding in public, and if somebody judges you. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to breastfeed in public because it is just the most beautiful bonding and just empowering thing, and you can empower other mothers and bring awareness to how special breastfeeding is. So God bless you, and always remember that when you're being kind to yourself, you are making the world a kinder place. Bye, beautiful.